most valuable learning lesson you think that this team was able to learn about themselves on that 2 game road trip, where obviously there was a lot of success against Fresno, a lot of things to get better at against Wyoming? What do you think the biggest takeaway was?
No, you just got to bring it every week. That's, I think, you can look and say, God, this was tough or that was tough. I mean, the hardest thing to do in college football is to win on the road. You just got to learn and get better every single rep. Uh, Obviously, there's things that we did that were good enough to win the game. I mean, they were extraordinary as far as some of the effort that we gave and how physical we played. But we just totally just the things that we did the first week and still had success. All the penalties, overthrows, drop passes, poor execution. You know, that stuff we got to get corrected. And sometimes it's harder to handle success. Talked about that all week long. And obviously, I mean, it's different. It was not. There's a lot of challenges to being on the road 2 weeks, but at the end of the day, there's no excuses. I mean, they were a good team. There's no question about that. I knew we were playing a better team because obviously playing there, obviously the elements. I really didn't think that. I think some people responded to the elements and some people didn't. And it's all about your mental toughness. And so we got to bounce back and learn. And we had a great practice day, but I hate learning from having to lose a football game. So we'd rather learn. And the biggest lesson we learned is you have to understand the things. You have to have a passion to get better every single day, and to go from week one with all the legal procedure penalties and all those things that set us back week one. And and obviously we won. We won 34-19 and beat a pretty good team, but we played a better team in a tougher situation and just didn't respond. And those things beat us. And if we would have eliminated those things, we would have had every opportunity to win the football game. So we got to get better and eliminate those things.
We talked to Coach Kinney about this in regards to finding the balance between frustration and optimism, because like you said, there were a lot of opportunities. There were a lot of close calls in regards to missed connections downfield, where it's either it's overthrown to an open receiver or it's a great throw and dropped by a receiver. Or you look at, with everything that went on, it was a 3-point game with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. How do you find that balance of not getting too frustrated, but at the same time, seeing that the optimism of it was almost there?
Yeah, I'm not frustrated. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. If you're frustrated, it means you can't teach. And so we're learning as a staff. Obviously the biggest thing is when you have success and you do undisciplined things, it's hard to understand that there's a sense of urgency to change that. And, we can't allow that. People get legal procedure penalties, they're not playing, period. You can't just keep making those mistakes. And those things are catastrophic. We played 25 plays on defense in the first quarter. I mean, because we got 1st and 15, then we get a delay penalty, then you get this and that, and that's coaching. That's a discipline is coaching. And so, I think sometimes, like I said, at the very beginning, you got to balance trying to do too much stuff. I think we had the success the first week, and we did not improve upon the things that are self-destructive. And, I think I said before the last game, whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win. And that's exactly what happened. And, but there are a lot of positive things. I mean, that's about as hard as I've seen a team play, defensively. The guys, I mean, it was a physical war. I mean, those guys were, had big physical guys, and our guys got after it. I loved how they responded. I mean, it could have real easily been a 3-score lead in the first quarter. I mean, we faced a lot of adversity in a hurry, and it was all self-inflicted. I mean, the ball slips out of our hand, turn the football over. Obviously, nobody's trying to do those things, but that's what, it's the little things that make big things happen. That's Coach John Wooden said that. And we've got to eliminate those things that'll cost you to lose football games. And that is 2 goals we have: 100% ball security and to eliminate negative plays, negative penalties. If you do that, then we had every opportunity to win the game. Well, if and shoulda, woulda, coulda don't count. So you got to get those things established, and that's something. That's why you need to practice. That's why we got to practice. We practiced hard today. I liked how the guys responded. You got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go at it. But I'm not frustrated one bit. I'm very disappointed how we played. I've been doing this for 30 something years. That's the worst we've ever played offensively. I think I got shut out in 2007 or 8 at Oklahoma when they had the number 1 team in the country, 45-0. And I felt better about how we played because we were just getting beat by a better team. We got beat by a team that was better than us Friday night, but it was a lot of it was self-inflicted, and we should have played better. We just got to get better. We win and lose as a team. Obviously, I'm ultimately responsible for all of it, and we just got to get better. But I'm not frustrated. Obviously, I just, look straight here at myself and say, this is what we got to do to get better, because there's no question we have the potential to have a really good football team. Kind of showed that week 1, and then we showed our inconsistency in week 2. And so we got to bounce back and show what we're made of. We'll find out what we're made of this week, because I looked at every game over the week. I looked at every opponent that we have live on TV, which was kind of nice by playing Friday. And teams are extremely evenly matched. Obviously, there's one team that's at the top every year, but everybody else is playing inspired. They have a lot of new coaches. People are playing inspired. People are getting after it. So we got to get better. And so you want to get better from each week. And I'm not going to say we didn't get better, because there's some areas that we did get better at. And then there's some areas we didn't. So you have to have a sense of urgency about getting better.
I know it's not an excuse, but is it an explanation that because you didn't have a lot of full practices, was that, not just this past week, but, during this whole training camp, was that affecting a lot of the penalties and maybe not cohesiveness? Or
I've in all my years as a head football coach, I've never come into a program and had that many penalties like that. That's if you research anything about me, that's the core of what we do is to not beat yourself and do those things. And so it's puzzling to me. Yes, we've had not much practice, but neither is anybody else. So I don't, to me, that's just would be an excuse to make that. We're just basically need to get more disciplined about what we're doing. And there's senseless things too. I mean, senseless penalties that are just not smart. And you have to look at that. You have to look at the areas that are committing those, and we got to get some accountability there. So, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that is having training is the number one thing in football. Being able to train your team and be able them to understand about how to, because football requires elite discipline, not discipline, elite discipline, and we got a ways to go to get that, and we need a bunch more training. And so, obviously, that's the thing that I'd tell you if you ask me what would you like to have, coach. I'd like to have a whole bunch more practices. But you know what? So would every other coach. So it's the same for everybody.
Is the no news means it's not season-ending news stand true for Eugene?
No, he's done for the year. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So that was a tough loss. Man, what a great kid. He'll bounce back. He'll be fine. He's a champion, but he's pretty much done for the year. So he'll bounce back and be back next year, and he'll be leading our team every day. I had him out there on the field today. I mean, coaching up the safeties, and great person, team captain, tremendous person of faith. Just really proud of him. And I told him that's life happens like that, man. You get knocked down, just get yourself back up, and good Lord ain't gonna give you too much that you can't handle. So he's in great spirits, but always be honest with you on that. So he'll be out for the season.
What type of injury did he suffer? And
I'd rather not. I don't like, really not supposed to specifically talk about those type of things just because of their privacy and stuff like medical privacy. But he had a lower leg injury.
You mentioned he could have surgery, or
I don't know all that yet. I just know that he won't be back this season. They're still evaluating all that. I would imagine so, but I don't know.
You had mentioned that you expect him to still be a big part of this team. He is made a captain for a reason, and a lot of that is because of his personality, because of how vocal he has always been here at this program. So how important will it be to have him still be that captain presence in the locker room?
I think the biggest thing about leadership is example. I think Eugene, in my time around him, he talks probably to you guys a lot. He didn't do a lot of talking in practice. He does a lot of, leading by example and working his tail off. So it's a big loss from that standpoint. But that's what I told him today. You gotta kind of, transition to finding another way to do it, because obviously you can't move around right now very good. But he has got a tremendous work ethic and a man of character, and his actions and how he displays himself. I admire him, because the first thing he said today was, "Coach, what can I do to help? I want to help." Obviously losing someone with his experience, and that's what's hard right now is when you lose someone that has all those reps, because you rep the ones, because we've had such few practices. We rep 5 reps to every 2 with the 2s, because you have to get your ones ready. And so he was out there today helping and helping the guys behind him getting ready. And I was really proud of those guys too. I mean, Donovan Dalton and Sterling Ortiz. Donovan didn't even practice at Bandit all week. We were trying to get him ready at free safety, because Kai could not play last week, the first half. And so we had Sterling and him at free safety, and neither one of them had many reps, and so, and they played really good. I mean, Donovan was just about a couple of inches from having a pick 6 that could have changed the game. Those guys came in there and played hard, and with very minimal reps. Sterling Ortiz, I think, cleared quarantine maybe, 16 days ago. I mean, he hadn't had, I don't know how many reps he's had, but it's not very many. And I thought he really played well. So I got confidence in those guys, and they'll be filling in there for Eugene.
Coach, if you don't mind, just kind of away from football for a second, just the culture of creating conversations with Election Day tomorrow. Your team has guys from all over the world. It's just a diverse group. What's this locker room like? Are they a lot of passion about certain subjects and about tomorrow?
Well, I mean, a football locker room is probably our society could study the football locker room and could learn a lot of great things from it. Just the love and the camaraderie, the respect that you have to be on a team, and the open hearts, open minds. That's the way it is on a football team. That's what I love about it. It's been that way, every place I've ever been, and that's what makes it so special. The locker room is one of the things that when I was out of football, I really missed. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm always late coming here is because I go through I guess it's a locker room. It's kind of a makeshift outside locker room, but I still go through that locker room because I enjoy, visiting with those guys and visit with them. And, I talk to them about, how important it is for them to vote and be a part of that. I think, my grandparents, both my grandfathers were in the military, served in the military, and a lot of people died to give me the opportunity to vote. And so we talk about those things, but our guys, that's what's special about a football team is that the respect between people from all walks of life. I mean, people from rural America, from inner city, from Hawaii, from all over the place come together, and the respect that we have. We work for a common goal. We love each other like a family, and so I'm really proud of that. And to be honest with you today, there wasn't much talk about that. We were practicing, focusing on New Mexico.
I think in 2 years ago, you faced a San Diego State team that was led by Rocky Long. Now he's the defensive coordinator over there, and I know you're involved heavily in the offense. But what's it like playing a Rocky Long type of defense?
Coached against Rocky when I was at Tulsa as the head coach. When he was at New Mexico, coached against him for many years. We're very similar philosophically from a defensive standpoint. I think personally, probably one of the best defensive coaches in the country. And in my 30-something years, there's not anybody that I think does a better job with their personnel and adapting to their personnel than what he does. A a lot of respect for him. I've competed against him a bunch over the years, and I thought he did an amazing job. Heck, they beat us at San Diego State when he was there, and the reason why they did, because the job that they did on defense, it was just so difficult what they do. And we've had very similar schemes. When I was at Tulsa and he was at New Mexico, that's kind of when we started developing some of the things that we're doing. And nothing but respect. I mean, I think Coach Gonzalez he hired him a great one there to be able to get him to come there and be the defensive coordinator. And I'm gonna tell you, they are not anything like they were last year. They are a different football team. They got beat over the top a couple of times against San Jose. That's probably the difference in the game. San Jose's playing really good football as well. So is Nevada. I thought UNLV did some really nice things as well. So really, a lot of teams are going to be evenly matched, and they've got skill players. Derek Wareheim, their offensive coordinator, worked for me. Was when I was head coach at Rice, and so going to be a lot of familiarity in this game. There's not going to be a lot of surprises from both sides of the football. So their offense coordinator coach for me was my offensive GA at Rice, and he played at Tulsa when I coached at Tulsa for me. So got some commonality there. And then Rocky and I've been and Coach Gonzalez been competing against each other for quite some time. So they've done a good job. They've had a challenging circumstance there, and they'll come in here and be ready to play. It'll be you're not going to trick Coach Long. He knows what he's doing. He's a very, very good football coach. So is Danny, Coach Gonzalez. They do a great job. So they're much better football team. You can tell they're playing inspired. You can tell. I mean, that's what happens. I think when you have a new staff come in, guys are very, very inspired and playing extremely hard. And we're going to have to play.
You and Gonzalez interacted during that transition 2 years ago.
No, I don't know him that well. Rocky and I we competed against each other. I don't know. I just know him from competing against him. I'm more familiar with Rocky than I am Danny. Danny was like a safety coach whenever. I think they were. I don't know if I think he was with him at New Mexico and then went to San Diego State. It's been, I don't know. We started competing against Rocky 2000 and I don't know 4 or 5, something like that.
We haven't had the right opportunity to ask you about Stovall, about the decision to bring him back on the team, and from the stories you may have heard about last year and his past, how much of a turnaround have you seen in him as a teammate, and obviously had a pretty good game on Saturday?
Well, I mean, I come in and take a new job. Obviously, we don't want anybody that we don't think adheres to the values of our program, and we want people going to represent the university and the state with class and character. And so when I came in, open to give people a second chance and a second opportunity, and explain how that was going to be. And he's done everything to this point, knowing that there's not much room to do anything else. And I've been really proud of kind of how he's progressed. And he knows that that opportunity is a one-shot deal. And so I was actually, during the game, I was trying to inspire the offense, and I was telling them, hey, we can win this game. It's winning. I think it was 17-7, and we just got the turnover. Cortez just stripped the ball. We just got the turnover, and I was trying to tell them, hey, we can win this game. If we just take care, be disciplined about what we're doing, we win this game. And I turn right around and he's right behind me, hollering the same thing. So he's come a ways. I'm proud of the progress he's made. I thought he's done some good things. Made a couple bad decisions on the punt return. Like to let that ball go in the end zone, but I think he is trying hard. And I, for one, am a person that there's some things that I won't do that for. Obviously. My job is to make sure that everything we do it brings honor and pride and represents the state and the university the way it should be done. And so I felt like it was warranted to give him an opportunity, and he's done well with it so far.
Coach, like everything else in 2020, a unique situation where it's your home opener, but no fans in the stands. Still, how significant is this? How important is this for your guys to be able to defend a home field and to be able to open things up at Aloha Stadium?
Well, the hardest thing to do is play on the road. So, thing you better do is defend your home field. My record has been pretty good at home every place I've been. And, I think that's, guys got to be able to take pride in that. I'll be honest with you guys, though. I loved the atmosphere at Wyoming. I went like, wow, it was kind of weird a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you at Fresno, because you sit in these cutout boxes or whatever. And then there's music, I guess, or, crowd noise piped in. But it was still kind of weird. Once the game got going on, I didn't pay much attention to it. But, it was a little bit cold at Wyoming. I wasn't cold. I never got cold in the game, but we never even talked about it. But the fans, man, just having the fans in the stands. I'm ready for this virus to get out of here and have some fans in the stands. And so, but we'll go out, and I know the kids will play their hearts out at home. Obviously, it's a heck of a lot easier being at home no matter where you're at, and we've got to defend our home field. And so I think our guys will play their tails off. And but I am looking forward in the near future to having our fans out there, because that's to me that's what it's all about, and we got to do it in a safe manner, and I understand that. But it was pretty cool in Wyoming for to have that, because they said 7,000 fans, but boy, it seemed like more than that. But anyway, that's what I think about that.
Okay, guys, next question.
You feeling better? You sound better. It sounded like you had a little cold last week.
Oh, I don't get sick. I've never had a cold or anything. What are you talking about?
Okay.
I lose my voice. I'm a little, you probably don't know this, but I'm a little bit hard of hearing. And so I talk loud. And so when I'm coaching, I coach in short verbal blasts. So my voice gets a little, I started off at 226 and I'm down to 208. And before the season's over, I'll be below 200. So that's just the process. My voice and my weight will go up and down. So that's the way it works.